Emma only meant to check the time on Mark's phone, but when the screen lit up, she saw a message that made her blood run cold. She's starting to suspect. We need to move faster. And the message wasn't meant for her. Emma had always described Mark as the calm in her storm. They met 2 years earlier at a bookstore cafe downtown. She had been struggling to choose between 2 novels when he casually recommended one. "You'll like that one," he said. "But the ending will make you question everything." She laughed at the time. Funny enough, those same words would describe her relationship with him later. At first, Mark seemed perfect. He was thoughtful, attentive, and surprisingly observant. He remembered tiny details about Emma's life, her favorite tea flavor, the song she listened to when she couldn't sleep, even the way she liked her pancakes slightly undercooked. It felt comforting, safe, and for a long time, Emma believed she had found someone she could trust completely. But trust has a strange way of breaking when you least expect it. The changes began quietly. So quietly, Emma almost ignored them. Mark started working later than usual. Sometimes he wouldn't get home until almost midnight. When she asked about it, he always had the same answer. Just over time. At first, Emma believed him. Bills had been tight recently, and Mark had mentioned wanting to save more money. But something about his behavior slowly began to feel off. He started keeping his phone face down on every surface. He began stepping outside to answer calls. And once, Emma noticed him deleting a message immediately after reading it. That moment stuck with her, because people who have nothing to hide usually don't delete messages that fast. One night, around 1:30 a.m., Emma woke up suddenly. The room was dark, but she could see a faint glow across the bedroom. Mark was sitting at the edge of the bed, typing. And the moment he realized Emma had moved, he locked his phone instantly. "Everything okay?" Emma asked softly. Mark turned around quickly. "Yeah, just work stuff." Emma glanced at the clock. 1:32 a.m. Work messages at that hour seemed strange. Still, she didn't press him, because relationships require trust. At least, that's what she told herself. But over the next few weeks, the small moments began stacking up, like pieces of a puzzle she didn't want to solve. One evening, while they were watching television, Mark's phone rang. The caller ID only showed unknown. Mark grabbed the phone so fast it almost fell off the table. "I'll be right back," he said quickly. Emma watched him walk onto the balcony. Through the glass door, she could see his silhouette, pacing back and forth. His voice was quiet, tense. And then she saw something she had never seen before. Mark looked scared. When he came back inside, Emma casually asked, "Who was that?" Mark hesitated for a moment before answering. "Wrong number." But Emma knew that wasn't true, because nobody looks terrified after a wrong number. A few days later, Emma came home early from work. Mark wasn't back yet. She dropped her bag onto the couch and walked into the kitchen to make tea. That was when she heard it, the soft buzz of Mark's phone vibrating on the coffee table. Normally, she ignored his phone completely. But today, curiosity pulled her closer. The screen lit up. The message preview appeared. "Did you take care of it?" Emma frowned. Take care of what? Before she could read more, another message appeared. "The girl still doesn't remember anything." Emma felt a chill crawl down her spine. Her mind began racing. Who were these messages about? What girl? What didn't she remember? Emma's first instinct was to put the phone down. But something stopped her, because for the first time in months, Mark had forgotten to lock it. The screen was still open, and all that she had to do was swipe. Emma hesitated. Her heart pounded loudly in her chest. Opening someone's phone felt like crossing a line. But what if the messages meant something serious? What if Mark was in trouble? Or worse? What if he was hiding something dangerous? Slowly, Emma picked up the phone and opened the conversation. The first message she read made her hands start shaking. If she remembers that night, everything is over. Emma froze. What night? She scrolled further up the conversation. Her stomach twisted tighter with every message. The conversation went back weeks, maybe months. Most of the messages were vague, coded almost, but certain phrases kept appearing. The accident. The girl. Make sure she stays quiet. Emma's breathing became shallow, because suddenly, a terrifying thought crossed her mind. What if Mark wasn't just hiding something? What if he had done something terrible? Just as Emma started scrolling again, she heard something that made her heart jump. The sound of the apartment door unlocking. Mark was home. Emma quickly placed the phone back on the table exactly where it had been. Her heart raced so loudly, she was sure Mark would hear it. The door opened. Mark walked inside. For a moment, everything seemed normal. Then his eyes moved toward the coffee table, toward his phone, and then, slowly, toward Emma. "Did my phone ring while I was gone?" Mark asked. Emma forced a calm smile. "Yeah, just a message." Mark picked up the phone. His eyes scanned the screen, and suddenly, his entire expression changed. He looked back at Emma, but this time, the warmth in his eyes was gone. Instead, there was something far more unsettling. Panic. And Emma realized something terrifying in that moment. Whatever secret Mark was hiding, she had just gotten dangerously close to discovering it. And now, he knew it.